Welcome back to the channel. We've got a beautiful spring day. It's about 50 degrees. The sun is out. It's partly cloudy. It's windy. I'm not going fishing. Nope, because I'm sick. I'm stuck at home, taking antibiotics, and watching the kiddo. But that's okay. Got a cool little video today. Gonna bring you guys some tackle talk. New series that we're starting up. You guys can expect this probably every Tuesday. That way you guys can see some of the obscene amounts of tackle that I've been collecting and hoarding this past winter. Enough of that, let's get into it. As you guys can tell by the title, today we're talking about new baits. And who doesn't love learning about new baits? This guy does. If you don't, why are you watching this? Get out of here. Anyway, today we're talking about hard baits. We're talking about crankbaits. And I grew up a bank fisherman, and throwing crankbaits from the bank is tough. Why? Because you're constantly, either throwing parallel to the shore or throwing in the deep water and coming uphill, so to speak. So crankbaits typically dig down into the bottom. And if you're fishing the bank, you're typically fishing a pond, and it's typically a muddy bottom. Yada, yada, yada. But this year, we're going to be fishing from the kayak. So, crankbaits and hard baits in general is something that I really wanted to focus on. So I want to show you guys what I've been doing over the past winter. And I've got a bunch of different baits here, so I'm going to get to it. I'm going to jump around as far as brands go. I don't have any experience with any of these. Right? So I don't know how these perform. I'm just gonna kind of showcase them too. So we're gonna start off with 6 cents, cold water. Bass are still gonna be deep. This is a C10, dives to 10 feet. It's a killer little ghost shad pattern. Got an awesome rattle in it, and I am pretty pumped to throw that. Columbus Fishing Expo. Was able to find Storm Arashi crankbaits, $5 a piece. Got a bunch of different ones, bunch of different diving depths. Got a shad, got a chartreuse craw. These guys have a killer one knocker in there. Gonna be putting off a lot of sound and a lot of vibration, searching for those deep water bass. 6 cents. This is the Crush 55, small body crankbait, similar in size to a rock crawler, which I've got one around here somewhere. Right, there's a rock crawler, there's a Crush 55, so you can see they're pretty similar. But man, 6 cents, these guys, they're crankbaits right out of the package. Split rings, hooks, paint jobs, straight fire, just ready to go. Different size, different rattle in there. Got different colors. A little shad burst, right? Green, chrome sides, little crawfish crunch. You guys familiar with rattle traps? Bill Lewis, right? He's got a new crankbait out called an MrSix. These are flat-sided cranks. They got a wide body, but they're flat-sided cranks. I bought these from Brian Latimer at the Ohio Expo. He had a booth there. He was talking shop for like 3 days straight. Dude was exhausted, but it was still cool to meet him. Awesome paint jobs, rattles, right? And dives down to 6 foot. Pretty stoked to see what these guys were able to do. Met a custom crankbait maker. This is a balsa bait. None of these have been balsa baits. So this guy's really light. May have to throw this in the finesse box. But that color, according to him, smashes smallmouth and largemouth in the Midwest. We'll find out. Next bait. This bait's been getting talked about a lot. And if you guys haven't picked it up, don't know that you'll be able to. From what I understand, it's sold out everywhere. But that's the Berkley Footside flat-sided crankbait. Look at that lip. I've never seen a lip like that before in my life. So interested to see what this guy's gonna do. They all have a weight right here to help that bait dive down quicker. So I got chartreuse black, got shad. Those are both 9-foot divers. Got red craw, pretty juicy looking. That's a 7-foot diver. What else do we got? Lipless crankbaits. You guys know I'm a big fan of 6 cents, right? We've been talking about that. Picked up a couple new liplesses from them. purple on top, gold, kind of silver, ghosty belly. That's a one knocker. You guys, what do you think about that paint job, huh? That's the Quake 80, but this is a suspending version. Yeah, you heard me, suspending. But just like a suspending jerkbait, it's probably tuned at a very specific water temperature, which is probably around 55 degrees. So if it's warmer or colder than that, this may float a little bit, this may sink a little bit. Regardless, stop and go, and it's not gonna sink like a bullet. Yeah. What else from 6 cents as far as lipless crankbaits? Crawfish Crunch. Love those red spots on there. That's the Quake 70. That's what that guy sounds like underwater. Got some more lipless crankbaits here. Three more brands. Strike King Takeover Box from Monster Bass. Got a Fire Tiger, red hooks. Yeah, muddy water. I think it's going to do well. Bill Lewis Rattle Trap. Came in a Monster Bass box. If I can get it unhooked. Bluegill spawn in the summer. Ticking that over the tops of grass. That's going to be fire. I may even work in muddy water. Imagine coming up behind that. That's pretty visible. And then the River to Sea Ruckus. I'm a big fan of River to Sea baits. This, I believe, is a 3/4 ounce. That's in some sort of ghost bluegill pattern. Really loud. Really loud. Comparable to an LV 500, which I lost over the winter. And I felt like I gave away an organ, because that's like a $16 crankbait. Ugh. That's it for the lipless game. Moving on to jerkbaits. Bunch of different jerkbaits here. Oh, no, I lied. Sorry. One more lipless. This is actually from a local company here called CYC Lures, like right down the street. Met these guys at the Columbus Expo, and sweet paint job, right? Good split rings, and really good high quality EWG hooks. These guys know what they're doing. They obviously fish quite a bit. So looking forward to throwing that. And while we're talking about CYC, let's showcase one of their jerkbaits. We'll showcase that one here in a second. Hold on. So yeah, here's the CYC jerkbait. Profiles similar to a Vision 110. Again, good split rings, great hooks. The color is called The Secret. Never seen a jerkbait in that color. Thinking that might do really, really well on some dark days. So yeah, pretty stoked about that. Berkley Juke. Suspending jerkbait game is something I want to focus on. This guy, it's got rattles. I have no idea if it suspends. If it doesn't, I'm going to glue some suspend dots or suspend strips right here. But I really like that profile, really like that color. Berkley hooks are on it. Yeah, I don't have any qualms about it, but we'll see. What else? 6 cents Provoke Ghost Bone Minnow. It's a floater, I know that. So I'm going to be using some suspend strips because I'm looking for it this time of year to suspend or slow sink. So again, suspending jerkbaits are tuned at the factory in specific water temperatures. If you guys don't know that, I think it's right around 55 degrees. So pay attention to what temperature water you're fishing, and that's going to help you decide, is this going to float? Is this going to sink? Is this going to work for me? Should I change baits? So excited about that. Strike King KVD 200 Pro Blue. Sweet little clear water bait, weight transfer system. Livingston Lures, clown color. Heard it does really well this time of year. Little chrome side. From what I hear, this emits some sort of bait fish sound when you throw it. I don't know. Anybody throw these? Tell me what you think. Lucky Strike. I know, Lucky Strike. Megabass 110 profile. It's got Rick Clunn's name on it. We'll see what it does. A couple more Strike Kings. I'm a big fan of the Strike Kings. Good hooks. They dive about 5 to 7 feet. Obviously, that's a little like pale shad type color. And then Pro Green, another great clear water bait. That's it. That's all we got for today. Let me know if you guys know about these baits, if you have these baits, if you use these baits. Let me know the good, the bad, the ugly. We got a lot more Tackle Talk Tuesdays coming up because I got a problem when it comes to buying baits, but I think we all do. I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. YouTube likes it. I like it. Hopefully you like it. Other than that, I'm out. We'll talk soon. Peace.